Sit or lie in a comfortable position. Shift your weight back and forth until you feel even and grounded on either side. Uncross your arms and legs. Settle into whatever is holding you up, your chair, floor, your bed, the couch. Take a deep breath in. Exhale out. Close your eyes. Take another deep breath in. And exhale out. See your mental landscape in front of you. Thoughts and images flying around as they will. Imagine you gently whisk them away, brushing them off to the side for now, fading further and further until the image in front of you becomes blank, peaceful, and clear. In that blank space, a path begins to form. You see a dirt trail, and the outlines of trees begin to form around it, extending several hundred feet into the distance in front of you, but you can't quite make out where it leads yet. You take another deep breath in, and exhale out. And take one step onto the gravel. You hear the sound of the earth beneath your feet as you continue walking. As you proceed forward, the trees around you and the scene in front of you becomes more clear. You begin to realize you are headed for an open clearing, one that leads to a small lake with a very inviting sandy shoreline with crisp, clear, brilliant blue water gently rolling onto a sunny beach. You feel the urge to pick up the pace to get there faster, but something inside you reminds you to slow down, to take it slow, to breathe in your surroundings and really enjoy the path that leads there. You hear all the birds around you and a gentle breeze. You take a nice deep breath in and enjoy the smell of fresh, crisp lake air. It's nice and cool, but not too cold. It's the perfect addition to the warmth you feel on your skin from the sun overhead. Before you know it, you're already at the beach. You find a really nice spot to sit down right by the water, feeling still the sun cascading down on your skin, cool breeze occasionally making an appearance. It's a perfect weather day. You sit there for a while just watching and enjoying listening to the small waves reaching the sandy beach. You let yourself drift into a deeper state of peace with each breath. Very much in the present, living from one moment to the next, feeling grateful for the sun, the trees, the water, the air. After a little while of this, when you begin to feel as though you are very in tune with your surroundings, you begin to hear something small rocking back and forth in the water that is approaching you. You glance up and realize a small treasure chest is floating towards you. It quickly reaches the shoreline by your feet and parks itself in the sand. You stare at it in amazement, not sure that it is really there, but you know it has to be. You reach out and you can touch it. It's very real. Upon looking closer, you notice it's carved ornately and is in very good shape. You begin admiring how miraculous this little thing is when you notice an inscription carved on the outside. It reads, "Positive Transformation Treasure Chest." You spend a minute or two wondering what that means. And it only just occurs to you that you hadn't even thought about opening it yet. You begin to scan the ornate designs on the outside looking for a lock. You notice a small latch in the front and are surprised to see that it's not locked. Wondering how this treasure chest is intact and in such good shape, you unlatch the front with amazement and it opens right up. At first glance, it's completely empty. But as you peer over the front edge, you see a small scroll of paper. You grab it and unroll it. Disappointingly, though, you see that it's blank. Confused, you peer into the chest again and see that underneath where the scroll had been sits a small pencil. With a moment of clarity, seemingly out of nowhere, you understand you're meant to write something on it. Then you remember the inscription that's on the outside. It read, "Positive Transformation Treasure Chest." You decide without any hesitation to begin writing all of your worries and insecurities and stressors onto it. You make a tidy list summing up the worries you've had on your mind for quite some time. With each bullet point you include, you feel your muscles relax a bit further. Once you are finished writing the last thing on the list, you realize the tension in your body has completely melted away. You roll the scroll back up and place it and the pencil back into the chest and let out a big sigh of relief. As you do, the chest closes on its own. And normally, this would seem strange, but for some reason it makes perfect sense to you in this moment. As it shuts closed, you notice through the crack where the lid meets the base an internal source of light that's swelling bright and then dissipates just as quickly. The latch then undoes itself, but the top doesn't pop open. You watch it for a second, puzzled, and then reach out and open the lid manually. When you do, you notice the scroll is now tied neatly with a ribbon and is sitting on top of a small wrapped present. You open the scroll with excitement. This time, it's not blank, and it does not have the list you wrote down on it earlier. Instead, you read it, and it's a message that contains exactly what you need to hear in this moment. Take a minute to imagine what it says, and let that sink in. Take a nice deep breath in, and exhale out. And as you do, a smile appears on your face. For a minute there, you had forgotten about the small gift box. Excitedly, once you remember, you reach back into the chest and pull out the small box. You unwrap it, open the box, and pull out a small gift. It is a small object, a token that represents something comforting to you from someone you love. Take a minute to imagine what that is. Pass it back and forth between your hands, feel it within your fingers. Imagine it, notice it. It makes you feel very loved and reassured. You know you were meant to keep this and you feel very grateful for it. Feeling a whole lot better now, you sit and just relax, looking out over the scene in front of you. It's been a decent while now that you've been here and you're starting to get hungry. You take a nice deep breath in and think, wow, this would be such a great spot to have my favorite meal. And just a single moment later, you hear a clank in the treasure chest. Confused, you look inside. There is a takeout container that definitely wasn't there before. You would be skeptical, but you recognize the smell immediately as the meal you were just thinking of, and excitedly take it out of the chest and place it in your lap and open it up. All the utensils you need are there, and there's a small note on the top that says, "Enjoy, you deserve it." Without giving your brain a second to doubt that statement, you begin to eat. It is the most delicious rendition of your favorite meal, and it is so incredibly comforting. You are filled with joy, your inner child super happy. This meal is special and doesn't run out until you feel full. Take a few moments to really enjoy this meal. Once you feel full and you've finished with the meal, all of your troubles have completely disappeared. You feel happy and renewed. You feel worthy. You feel grateful. You feel loved. You feel seen, heard, accepted, appreciated, validated. You feel understood. You feel an overwhelming sense that you are exactly where you're supposed to be and all is well. You take another deep breath in and exhale out. After a minute or two, you stand up. You take another look around over the lake and behind you up into the trees and all around you. The breeze comes swooping back in as if to give you a hug before you go. You close the treasure chest and place it back in the water. Even though it's going against the current of the small waves, it floats out into the distance. You thank the treasure chest and the lake. You take one more deep breath in and out, and begin to make your way back up the path. The path back home seems shorter now, and you know you can come back anytime you need to. You bring your awareness back to your physical body, wiggling your toes, stretching your neck and arms. After a moment, you can open your eyes and bring your mind back to this present moment.